so funny that the medicine for saving your child and so many of our children is building the relationship and then having incredible fun with them. And some people are like, yeah, what? I have to have fun with my kid? And they're great. They're flying around the world. They love vacationing. They're on cruises. They have tans. They're going in between and they're going places and they're throwing axes and they're shooting people and I don't know what do they shoot stuff and they're like, this is the greatest medicine in the whole world. I don't have to sit by a hospital with a suicidal kid. I don't need to be in a psych ward. I don't need to eat bikur chaylim food. I don't have to sleep on a chair. I get to go on cruises and we go and we have fun. I get to laugh. I get to smile. I get to watch stuff that we wouldn't normally watch. It's the greatest medicine in the whole world. This is the medicine to save our kids' lives. And then other parents are like, pale. What? I have to spend time with my kid? I have to go on a trip? I have to have fun? Are you sure? Is there no place? Is there no facility? Can I hire someone to do this for me? And they're like, try to get out of it. I'm telling you, the more, you can't overdose. The more trips you can do with our kids, the quicker their brain will heal. And science is going to back me up. They're almost there. I know it's true, but science will back me up. They're getting there every year. More and more brain scans are showing that we recreate with fun neuro pathways in the brain that fight depression and fight anxiety and I've been saying this for years. Trust me. Every Groupon, buy it. Every Shlomi Litzman puts on the chat. What is he putting it on there for? Fly, go, don't think twice. Somebody went today, they put in, it was so cheap between the miles and the thing. Who put it up? Someone, it was like so cheap. Okay, great. Like, what? They're in Aruba. Aruba. The TP choir needs some work. Okay. They're in Aruba, they're in Jamaica. Ooh, he want to take her. He's with his daughter in Aruba for bupkis, and we have a kip fund for that. For that. We have a kip fund, we'll help you. Go to Aruba. And some people are like, what? But how's he gonna just heal your kids with the power that we have that works? And just for the fact that we don't call Shomrim and Shmira and Hatzala and Chaverim and Chaveros and female Hatzala, what are they called? Ezras Nashim and we 99%. When you have an NKN with your kid and you're the source of their fun, drugs goes away, suicide goes away, and people can't understand it. And therapists have such a hard they have such a hard time with this, like. But you're spoiling him. Yeah. But they're going to be spoiled. No, they won't be. But even if they would be, I think being alive is alive and spoiled, I think is a good deal. Right? No? One more spoiled Jew in the world. We can deal with another spoiled Jew. But they don't even get spoiled. They become so appreciative. And this medicine is not spending $150,000 a year on a facility. Spend it, half of that, a third of that, on your kid, on your NKN, and all of a sudden you have a shefala who loves you, and then you become their role models, and then they want to be like you. When you save their lives, I don't care if you have here, and he has here, it doesn't matter. It's going to change. Zehat Katan Gadol Yeh. You're his role model. He's going to somehow move the hair afro into the afro beard like you have. And that picture that you sent me where you don't even see, you're like one. It's so beautiful. I would really make it the TP logo. And what you did to do that, he gets a round of applause. Because it's so hard. Because you have, in your head, you have past traumas, you have what about the neighbors, you have what about this problem, and then what if this, and how that, as that, and you paid a lot of money to therapists already, so you're kind of invested in thinking that this is voodoo, chiropractor stuff, off the grid. Take it out, just throw it out, just love your kid, and be there for them. And if you're at the stage where they're not fighting you, they're not violent, he wasn't talking to you last year, now he's talking to you, now he's actually a pleasure, go as much as you can. You cannot overdose. I'll tell you a story. True story. Very good. All my stories are true. There's a family that came here. They did not have money. The father was like, they didn't have money. And they chapped. They realized the situation. And their daughter was depressed with the black eyes. And she had multiple boys and men coming to, it was terrible. Terrible. No Yom Kippur, no Shabbos, no nothing. Depression, anxiety, taking pills that she got from people who gave her stuff. The most vulnerable kid in the world. Tons of horrible situations. Tons and tons and tons. And the parents chapped. And the father did a lot, but the mother here, the mother, believe it or not, it's usually the mothers, she chapped. Now this kid was a Brooklyn kid, so she was in the parks, and she was going out at night. She had a whole chevra. And the mother took her for 8 or 9 days away on a vacation to someplace that she couldn't say no, like Aruba, right? Came back, 5-6 days later, she surprised her. Next week, we're going to Jamaica. And she did this for 8 months straight. And what happened was, most of the month, they were away 8, 9, or 10 days every month. And then they were home, because mother had to work, father had to work, they had to collect money and whatever. Just to understand, for the psychologist to understand. A year later, after all of this, all of her depression was gone. It's now, you guys know them, it's at least 6 years later, gone, never to be returned, smiley, happy, and completely from. I showed you pictures in the training from a girl who's walking around with not even matching socks or boots and no skirt, I mean, not pants, just a skirt that no material and no self-esteem and getting hurt from this boy and this older man and all the bad. And then all of a sudden, she's beautiful. And then she got married. And she got married to a stable guy. They have a kid. It's just miracles. Miracles. I wish you can do it. In Home Sweet Home, it was a microwave of this. Every night, we took them out. Every night, different people. Fun, fun, fun. It's all about the nefesh. It's not about up here in their mind. They're not atheists. They're not anti. All that they say is because of pain. They are broken-hearted. Fix their heart with CPR. So the first step is, if you don't have a good relationship, you got to take out the knives and build that relationship that you are the most trusted person in the world. Once you have the relationship, do and 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 do. Don't talk. Don't talk about Yiddishkeit. Don't talk about life. You just say, listen, I don't know. I haven't been your age in a long time. Must be really tough. And all of a sudden they're going to open up to you and they're going to show you where their boo-boo is. We had just today I got a call from parents. The kid opened up and told his parents what happened to him. That doesn't happen usually out of TP. That's your job, that they could feel honest and open to be able to share with you their pain and their trauma and who hurt them and what happened to them, because they have a story here. And then you can really be there for them and with them in their life. Imai anoichi bitzara. That's the most you can do. That's the most you can do. Nesiv Shalom points out, so powerful. The end of Bereshis, going into Shemais, was a very difficult time. We were at the epitome. Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, the Shiftei Ka. Klal Yisrael was on a high. But you know what happened starting Shemais. We start going into Galus. Yaakov is going into Mitzrayim. And this is the beginning of a painful chapter. It was supposed to be 400 years. It was 210 years because it was that bad, because Kaishi Hashibud. So many Jews got killed, so much bloodshed. We all went off the derech. We were Avdei Avodah Zarah. And Yaakov is going with the Shiftei Ka. I mean, can you just imagine if we could have, the Yaakov, Avinu, and the Shvatim, we would think they're invincible. And they're about to cross over into Shemais, Va'era, Bai, Bishalach. It's horrible, right? Yaakov's going down to Mitzrayim. What do you tell your kid who's going out in the street? What are you going to tell your kid who's starting to go off the derech and is starting to go into this terrible world of darkness? What did Hashem say? Anoichi ered imcha Mitzrayim. I'm going with you. That's all. Hashem couldn't, so to speak, stop it from happening. It was part of what had to happen, what was predestined for whatever reason that we'll never understand. But Hashem told Yaakov, I know you're going into Mitzrayim, and you could see what's happening over here, and what's going to happen over here is going to be bloody and horrible, begashmius, benafshius, and barachnius, and there are going to be terrible losses. But I want to tell you something. I'm going with you. Isn't that beautiful? That's all you can do for your kids. You're never going to be alone. I don't care what you do, what you eat, where you sleep, I don't care. Anoichi ered imcha Mitzrayma. I'm always going to be with you. And that's what kept us alive. Because if we thought for 1 second that God left us, we're done. Shchinta begalusa, by the Chorban Beis HaMikdash, as we were all being exiled, Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, Lag BaOmer, right? Reb Shimon Bar Yochai says, Kol makom shegoyla shchina goyla imahem. You understand? Kid gets so messed up and he has to go to rehab and to the worst place in the world, to a rehab or to a trauma center, and who's walking next to him? Tati. He packed up, and I got the bed next to you. Why is Hashem leaving? Hashem should say, you destroyed the Beis HaMikdash, I'm staying here. When you get your act together, come back to me. Hashem didn't do that. He packed up and he went with us. And he's with us, and he's always with us. He is always with us. And if we feel that Hashem is with us, that gives us the energy to get through anything. There were Jews in the Holocaust that really felt Hashem was with them, and they danced into the gas chambers. You could be in Auschwitz, but if you really know Hashem is with you, you can survive that. And you can be in Beverly Hills on a private jet, and if you feel Hashem abandoned you, you can't live. We can't survive this world. Ki imcha mekar chayim. Nesiv Shalom says, Ki imcha, when we know that we are with you, mekar chayim, we feel that we're connected to a source of light and life, and that's what your kids look up to you. You are they're everything. He needs to know, my parents believe in me. They're with me. There's nothing I can do, no matter what trouble they end up in, no matter what. And in fact, if you look back, you'll see when they get in the most trouble, Hashem Yirachim, it's the greatest chance to heal them, to prove to them that I'm really with you and I'm really not going anywhere, and to make a tikkun in the deepest part of their nefesh that feels that I am unworthy and I don't deserve and I don't have parents and I'm the black sheep of the family and I'm not good enough. But when they go ahead and I don't want to say, and you're there without judgment, greatest tikkun hanefesh. And that's what we're all about, roife nefesh. This whole problem of kids at risk does not exist. There's nobody off the derech. There's nobody who's not from. There's no atheists. All the atheists are in so much pain. When the parents do their job, we had 30 more. We had probably 40 at least kids who claimed, I'm an atheist. A year later, 2 years later, 4 years later, whatever it is, without talking about it, same kids are not atheists, and many of them are from. There's no atheist problem in our world. There's no spoiled. And guess what? There's no taiva problem. In 1980, 1990, we thought that kids are going to go off the derech because America is so much taiva. No, all the people working, really working, not writing articles, on the street, 20 years will tell you, we're not losing kids because they're bali taiva. Losing kids because their nefesh, their heart is broken. And love is the only medicine that can heal a broken heart. And that's what you're doing. And when he can or she can, they are going to, you're not even going to know where to put yourselves from the tremendous nachas as soon as they heal. And what we need to do is daven Hashem, boiri refuos, help us. We have 3 shutfim. 2 of the shutfim are here saying we'll do anything for our kid. We'll sell our kidney. You know, most men agree right away to sell their wife's kidney. Somebody wants to sell both kidneys. I'm like, no, you actually need one. We will remortgage our house. We will be embarrassed and go walk around outside with our kid. We will take the arrows like the eagle that we look up to. That's Jewish parenting, kanfei nesharim. Yeah, you know what? Arrows are not as sharp and dangerous as the looks that some people give our kids. daggers. Those arrows, and you're walking and you give a look back. Mama bear. How come there's no Papa bear? He's probably taking a nap. In the bathroom, right? Okay? And you give a look, and you know what happens? They learn to respect you. They learn to respect you. 2 true stories. Listen to this craziness. Both stories just happened. One I told you about was like a month or 2 ago, and the other one just happened again, very, very similar. There's a father, he's not TP, seems to be doing very good. His daughter is very sick, and he decided he's going to take her out to a beautiful restaurant in the Chulent, in the middle of the neighborhood, okay? Means everybody's going to see him. And she came dressed for the, I'm sorry, I can't say dressed for the occasion. She came undressed for the occasion, and he's sitting in a beautiful, very Hasidish restaurant, even though Hasidim used to not go to restaurants, but now they do. A very expensive, beautiful restaurant full of from people, and she's not wearing clothing. And here's the part of the story that nobody knows. He told me, Avi, I had no idea how I'm going to pay for the meal. He said, I knew that my credit card is maxed out. I have no money. But I knew she needed this, and I went. Came to get the bill, and she ordered, of course, everything. The bill was over $300. And the manager gives him the bill, and he opens it up and says, paid. So he goes over to the manager, quietly says, what's going on? He says, you see that? It's a very frum-looking guy. Very Hasidish and very frum, Erlich-looking guy. He was watching you. And he said, I want to sponsor this guy's meal because he's a hero the way he's dealing with his daughter. What a story. He had no idea that the guy didn't have money. And he still wanted to pay. You are heroes, and Klal Yisrael is watching. Be proud and do what you got to do to prove us right and have nachas from your kids. And you know who you'll have the most nachas from? Yourselves. Because you're standing up to the Nisayan. So many people wish that the challenge was Akedas Yitzchak. Please. So many guys are sharpening their, serrating their, just in case it changes, you know. Hashem, love that Akedas Yitzchak one. It's not, it's Amidas Yitzchak. You have to take this kid who has shattered, broken essence, and stand them up until they can walk. Ad she ha'esh shal heves oila. And it will happen with Hashem's help.